This is an example of how to process weekly data for the benches. First thing we have to do is load some data. So we load multiple. The only data files here are for the period from the 14th, rather the 18th of August. So we select week, we go to August, we pick 18, and the next 7 days from 18 will be selected. We select that, and the days for that week are highlighted in blue. We have the option of manually removing any selections using the control key. We will accept that and wait a few seconds while the data is processed and loaded. This takes a little time as there's a lot of data available for that period of time. Actually waiting for 16 files. They've now been loaded. It takes a few seconds for the program to display the data. And there's the data for that week we're interested in. We then zoom window using the right menu key from the mouse. We'll go down to the south benches. This is the information for the week. We do a quick inspection to see if there's anything on the benches that might distort the values. We have a value here on this bench which shows where a truck has come off the road, and that will bias the values. So we might want to go back and find which particular data file that was in and exclude it when we're processing. In this case then, we now need to select a region. So we select regions, load file. The file regions with an X in their name are the final regions we wish to select. So let's select bench 2 south, open. We see the red rectangle around the defined area. So we simply select pit score. And the pit score for that value is 100%, and we have some velocity ranges. Okay, so we accept that. We've done bench 2 south, so let's load another file. We'll do bench 3 south, open. This tells you if you want to overwrite the previous region we selected, so we say yes. We now have bench 3 south. We see there is no data along that bench, so we can't calculate a pit score. So we load file, we'll load bench 4 south, open, delete existing region. We're now on this road. This will be slightly biased due to the red selection there, but we can still do a pit score. This gives us 74.5, so we can accept that. And then we load the 4th file, which will be bench 5 south, open, delete existing region. This is now the bench here. You'll notice we've foreshortened this from the original bench size because on some of the data there is excavation on the south side, and we're just trying to avoid that for future weeks of processing. We then calculate the pit score. We then have 86.4, so at this stage we would then pan to the north benches. In the case of the north benches, there's a lot more excavation taking place, so you'll just need to be a little careful that you're analysing information that doesn't include a lot of excavation. And in this case we'd just duplicate the procedure, so we'd load a file, bench 2 north, open, delete existing region. We find this is the selection. we'll process it, but we'll notice in the middle of the bench there is some excavation taking place, so we expect the score to be quite low. The options here are you either accept the excavation or you go back and work out which day's data involve the excavation and delete it and reload all the data excluding that one day. And here we see we've got a very low score of 36.8. At this stage we just keep going for the other 3 benches on the north, and that's the processing for that week of data.